Selected it.
We live?
Yes.
We in the building?
We are in the building.
We are live.
I heard somebody doing live and they saying, "Come on in the room." I was like, she was saying, "I'll tell you what." I like.
I know you can live.
I'm not. And I was like, "Ooh, hey Tia, hey.
You should have went right on there and showed your vibe.
I can't because that's not. I didn't patent it.
Whatever.
Hello, everyone. Come on in the room. Come on in the room. Jesus is my doctor. He writes out all of my scriptures. He brings all of my medicine in the room. In the room. Whatever you need, it's in the room. You need love, it's in the room. Whatever you need, it's in the room. Come on in the room. Come on in the room. Jesus is my doctor. He writes out all of my scriptures. He brings all of my medicine in the room. Hey, Shanice, in the room. In the room. Hey, Tia, in the room. In my background, in the room. In the room. Whatever you need, it's in the room. Wait, how you gonna say use the phone? You put way on over there.
They ain't want it.
Baby, oh my gosh.
My phone know what it ain't want it.
How y'all doing on this wonderful Thursday? You don't mind take a moment to share. Let me oh look, I'm all up in front of the other one. Let me share this out in these streets. How's everybody doing on this wonderful Thursday?
Streets.
What and what, baby?
In these streets.
In these streets.
Yes.
Tia, you know I've been singing that same song when I come on live for over 10 years. I laughed. I heard somebody sing the other day. I was like, okay, we in the room too then, huh? Everybody in the room.
Just borrow whatever you need. Make sure you bring it back.
You're dumb, okay? We're not doing that on this wonderful Thursday. Oh my God, y'all, it's been running together. I don't even know what day it is. Hey, T Grant. Listen. Come on in the room. Did something out here in these streets. Come on. Come one, come twice. Come in the name of Jesus.
Come one, come twice. What?
Welcome once, welcome twice, welcome in the name of Jesus Christ. No, not that. Come on in the room. Share this to your page. I appreciate you. TA, I sent you my number. You didn't use it. Me and you gonna have to have us some words. I'm gonna welcome them again. I'm trying to get everybody. Listen, my baby boy has his senior night tomorrow night. He's sick, so I've been back and forward. Try what in the world? Back and forward, trying to get everything. Why am I live on my page? I didn't know it was on my page. Hey, Sugar D. I clicked our page for some reason. So anyway, I just want to come on. We're gonna have us a wonderful little conversation tonight. Look.
There you go. What up, man?
Baby Shaq. You know, y'all old. Oh, y'all old.
Really?
Although I can't say much. My 30th class reunion is this weekend.
Yes.
30th. Oh my God. I feel.
I haven't got to that yet.
Well, you might be 29. What y'all, 29?
Nah, brother.
What y'all, 29? You and Sugar D same, but 29?
No, we're not 29.
Okay, 28.
Why you counting out? You just know you 30.
Oh, you 28 because you're two behind me. You're 28.
You know you 30.
You're 28.
It ain't 30. That was not.
Come on in the room. Thank you for these likes. Come on, tap the screen. That's right, Eagles. Look, tomorrow, my baby, it's his singing night. Sugar D, the last out of 5, honey. Woo, 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 woo. Tell the Lord, thank ya.
Hallelujah.
Come on in the room. You were doing pretty good, babe. You got Mike over here talking about hit him with the left, hit him with the right. It's Richmond Heights. Oh my God, Richmond Heights.
Well, you got my phone, so I can't put it on there.
I'm so glad. But my 30th class reunion is November the 4th, the Ridge. Oh no.
Yes, sir.
Listen, guys, how was your Thursday? I know for me it was Thursday. How was yours, hon?
It's all right. It was a day that the Lord hath made.
And you will what?
Rejoice.
And
be glad in it.
On today. Listen, we're not gonna be before you long. Look, like the Opus, I'm not gonna be before you long. But yeah, I can't complain though. I mean, it was a crazy day as far as business. Listen, I have a devotion I want to read to y'all. It's gonna start our conversation. And it says,
Read.
Jesus is calling. Okay, it's very short for all. Woo! I'm about to drop everything. Hold on. This is my son computer and it's doing everything, but don't do that. You so disrespectful. No, I ain't drop your computer. It's one little page out, so don't get discouraged. But can you read while I'm doing hold this other stuff?
My glasses are in your car, but I got backups. Because Scout Honor.
Are we talking about bow leg mates with hairy armpits? You know what, T Grant? I'm not fooling with you tonight. Y'all know we live on TikTok, we live on Facebook and YouTube, and we have a variety of people. Y'all are very crazy today.
All right, you ready?
Yes.
Beware of seeing yourself through other people's eyes.
Okay, hold on. So it says, beware, baby. I can't.
See what?
Your mouth. So even if they can't hear you, they
can't hold this and look that way.
Can you lean this way? Can you turn the Bible?
That's not comfortable, but okay.
It ain't a long book.
It ain't a Bible, honey.
It's a. Get him.
Beware of seeing yourself. They can't see my mouth still.
No, not.
Beware of seeing yourself through others' eyes.
So listen, I just want to so be aware of seeing yourself through others' eyes. If you don't mind, anybody, you got that book too, Tia? Does anybody ever see yourself through other people's eyes, or what you think they think of you? Do you?
Are you really asking me that?
Baby, I'm asking you a question, and for the people.
No, not really.
Okay, so does anybody other than Cedric ever see that? Not because I see I tend to look at myself how other people or how I assume other people see me.
I think that I'm more of a tougher critic on myself than others are ever of me.
Oh.
So, but no, that don't.
So I need your feedback. So do you ever see yourself through the lens you feel like other people see you? And Cedric said he's a tougher critic on himself than other people could ever be of him. So go ahead, baby. Because they're not replying. They replying slow. Read.
There are several dangers to this practice. First of all, it is nearly impossible to discern what others actually think of you.
So you got to guess.
Yes.
Okay.
Moreover, their views of you are variable, subject to each viewer's spiritual, emotional, and physical condition. The major problem with letting others define you is that it borders on idolatry. Your concern to please others dampens your desire to please me, your creator.
Oh.
It is much more real to see yourself through my eyes. My gaze upon you is steady and sure, untainted by sin. Through my eyes, you can see yourself as one who is deeply, eternally loved. Rest in my loving gaze, and you will receive deep peace. Respond to my loving presence by worshiping me in spirit and in truth. Hebrews 11:6, Romans 5:5, John 4:23 and 24.
So this is what I want to talk about, because it talked about looking at yourself through others' eyes. And I recently was talking to someone who dealt with shame. Has anybody ever had anything that happened to them in their life that you feel like, see, okay, let me stop for a second. Tia says she only sees through her husband's eyes. And then T. Grant says, I'm my own worst critic. And that's what Cedric said. It is.
Well, see, but that's something that interesting to say here too is because
Yeah, face this way because they can't.
people's view of you varies based upon what they got going on. You know what I'm saying? And plus, they don't know all that you got going on in your life. So that's why I'm really never concerned about what people think, because they don't know what they don't know.
Well, so the issue that I have is I want to please God, but I also am always trying to help. And I really don't like when what is being said about me, or I feel is being said about me, is not truthful and does not represent who I am or what I've done. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah, but how would they know what that is if they're not there with you 24 hours a day?
I'm saying it's still, people have an opinion of you, whether they're with you for 5 minutes or 12 hours. I mean, but I'm saying you still, well, I still, because I don't know anybody that is emotionless like you when it comes to stuff like that.
That ain't got nothing to do with emotions.
Cedric, the average person still care what somebody thinks at some point.
That's not emotions, though.
To be able to cut that part off and not care?
It's not cut off.
What do you call
What's the logic in that? How does that help you in any way, shape, or form in your life? Caring about what other people think, and they not thinking about you 1 hour. How does that help you? Does that make you money?
No. So Chainbreaker said yes. She said bump them, and then Tia said I used to be that way. But people deal with jealousy, envy, hurt, and can project that on others. And this is the thing. I get what everybody's saying. I know all those words. I've even said those words to others. However, I see too many rooms where people are talking about their hurt and and what people say about them and things like that. So it is a common thing to care about what somebody thinks about you and what they've said about you. That's not like,
no, but I'm not saying it's not, but I'm saying in your day-to-day pursuit, one of the things that you should be working hard toward is being the best version of yourself that you can be. Would you agree with that?
I do.
Okay. And so along those lines, logic would tell you that you need to be streamlined and efficient in the things that you're thinking about and occupy your time with.
Correct. Mm-hmm.
So worrying about what somebody else thinks about you, how does that help you in any way is my point. So if it doesn't, then you cut it out. That don't make sense.
Yeah. Okay.
So that's what I'm saying. It ain't about being emotionless. It's about being the best version of yourself. You have 1,000 other things you can put your energy toward besides worrying about what somebody else thinks, because no matter what you think about what they think of you, you're not going to change what they think of you.
That's true.
That makes sense.
Yeah.
So why try to stress about something that you can't change? That's just like sitting there trying to make it stop raining. You can't make it stop raining.
So Tia says people deal with, okay. So T Grant says people view is based on their perception only and is reflected on what they think of themselves. When I think it isn't true when I know it isn't true, I'm sorry, to me, what they say isn't worth defending. Well, I guess I'm in an island all by myself, which I know I'm not. But I mean, because I know I've seen too many people that were bothered by what was said about them, men and women alike.
But see, that's kind of the same, but it's not, because some people care about what certain people think about them, but not people in general. See, your thing is people in general. They might have one person like a pastor or a mentor or somebody like that. They care about what they think about them, but that doesn't represent everybody to them. That don't make sense. Like if you had a favorite teacher, you would care how the favorite teacher saw you, but you would be so concerned about all the other teachers. Okay. If that makes sense. You're concerned about all the teachers and the students and the principal.
Really? You say the crossing guard?
And the parents.
So Tia keeps saying that I used to be that way. Yes, it depends on who the person is.
Well, that's what I'm saying. So you can't always say people feel the way I do. They may not. It could have been that one person that they held in high esteem that didn't feel about the person the way they felt about themselves. And that made a difference to them. Like if your mom or your dad or your coach or whatever. So it's not necessarily the same thing as with you.
So here's the okay. I hear you. I don't agree with. I hear the words that are being said
You
in
don't agree
chat.
with what?
I know that it's too many people that are altered. I listen to conversations,
But you're not listening to what I'm saying.
I listen to what I'm saying. Let me finish. That they get altered, who they are, their being, their mentality, they get angered, they get all this stuff when certain people, and it can be people they don't even know, get in the conversation and they misrepresent who they are. Then, if that is the case, then none of that stuff would affect you at all.
But it's different too when you're online or in a chat room, and that's what you do all the time, and you have people there that, like, for instance, say if you were in a chat, well, whatever you call that thing, with somebody that you knew that you cared about, and then somebody was assassinating your character. So then you want to defend yourself not for the person that's saying that, but the person that's in the room that knows you. That don't make sense.
Okay.
So it doesn't. I'm saying it's still a form of what you're saying, but it's not the same thing as what you are dealing with. In my estimation, but you know, I could.
So you meet people, right?
Mm-hmm.
And you may get to know them, but if you met somebody and everybody say, okay, this person is XYZ, there is still something that's placed. That's why you talk about gossip, because that plants a seed in your head about said person.
Hold on, say that again now. You say if somebody you meet, what now?
Just say we meet somebody, right?
Mm-hmm.
And somebody told us that, okay, this person is shady or selfish or whatever, right?
Right.
It plants a seed, even if you don't know that, it plants a seed in anything that they do that can be slanted that way, tends to go that way because that seed has been planted, right?
Yes. Yes and no. Yes.
So if my concern is, I don't want, maybe you go get some drink, honey, or something. I don't want a negative thought planted about me.
Yeah, but you can't control that.
I know that you can't control that, but that's the kind of stuff that bothers me. You know what I'm saying?
So when you meet somebody, and you heard something about them previously, you don't automatically adjudicate them guilty, but you do keep that thing in the back of your mind, and you see how they're operating to see if that lines up with what you've been told, and that's smart.
But you're already tainted in the fact, not that they're guilty.
Well, you are.
But just like when we went to trial, right?
Mm-hmm.
When our client is sitting at the table,
right?
When they come in the courtroom, when the jury come in the courtroom, the first thing that they think about is that, what did he do or what did she do?
Right.
Not, and one of the people said, you got to be guilty of something in order for you to be here. Like, it's automatically like a proven guilty, until you're proven innocent almost.
Yeah, but I'm saying, even that, though that's the case, you still have that in when you meet people anyway, because everybody is raised with inherent bias, depending on where you live, how you were raised, what region you're in. When you see certain people, you think certain things anyway, even if no one told you anything about that person. Just like if you see somebody that has, like you see a lady, for instance, that has locks and she has on baggy clothes, and you say, okay, well, she's a tree hugger or whatever. You know what I'm saying? Like, you may think, but then you may see, well, after you get to know her, well, she's not. So you automatically have preconceived notions about pretty much everything in the world because you view it through your conceptual framework. That's just the way it is. You can't get away from that. Everybody has those biases. But what you want to do is give a person to be judged on their own merit. So you get to know a person, be like, oh, okay, well, they're not like that. They're like this, or whatever the case may be.
Right.
But you can't get away from inherent biases. It is what it is. You just want to be open-minded enough to change that opinion if that's truly not what it is. And a lot of people don't have that.
Okay, so Tia said, depends on the character of the person whose the seed is trying to be planted in. I don't understand. So you're saying the person that's made the statement, or the person that is just meeting the person? Which one are you saying? Some people can hear mess about someone and immediately I judge based off their own encounter. And see, this is the thing. I hear that. I hear people say that, but I also have heard people say, yeah, such and such. Like the person could just have on red shoes and they're like, yeah, they told me they was extra. Like that, just because that you don't wear the red shoes or you didn't have them at that time doesn't mean that's extra. So,
But I think also in that it depends on, like they said, who told you. Because if your dad says someone is like something, you'll put more weight on that as if somebody else said, random just said, hey, they like whatever.
that's true.
So all that plays a part.
That's true. T Grant said that anger comes when people intentionally try to sabotage by creating chaos with ill intentions. That is where my issue comes in at. And you know, we were talking about. I mean, where is your okay?
But see, to me, that's different than what your original thing was.
What's different?
The original thing was just being concerned about how people think about you. That there is a intentional attack on your person. That's two different things.
No, but I'm saying we didn't say what the motive was.
No, it ain't about motive. Just what I read and what you originally said.
How you see yourself.
Right. You seeing yourself through how other people see you is different than what you're saying there.
Okay.
Those are two different things.
Okay.
Because you can get upset about somebody attacking your character and not be upset about or not try to see yourself through other people's eyes, like it said here in the reading. You don't get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Those are two standalone things, what I'm saying. You don't have to necessarily be guilty of both at the same time.
So I was okay.
Because I can see myself being upset about the latter. Like if somebody going and say, "Oh, you abused,"
you gotta say the latter. You gotta say what you're talking about, baby, because these people
about somebody intentionally saying something they know is not true. Like somebody going and say, "Oh, you beat your wife," or "You stole from the store," or "You a criminal," or whatever. That would make me upset because you know that's not true. Like, what evidence do you have of that?
Right.
Well, I don't know. I just feel in my heart that that's what.
You feeling your heart?
But people seeing me like, oh, well, he's not a nice guy. He should be, whatever people say. Just like, for instance, the lady in Georgia, remember she said, oh, you should be doing this and doing that at the store. Remember my mom?
Oh, yeah.
I'm like, you don't know what's going on. Go about your business. You know what I'm saying? Like, I could care less.
T-Gan said, true, I get it, 100. And then Tia B said, it doesn't necessarily have to be in a negative way. Do explain. I don't know what that means, Tia. So listen, one thing I found so let's talk about in the context of relationships, whether it's marriage, friendships. Like I had a friendship that how you say it was broken.
I don't know what you're referring to. It could be.
Yeah, baby, I ain't had one that was like this.
Oh, I thought you had multiple. Okay.
The one that caused me any kind of pain.
Okay. Yes.
I had a friendship that well, it was
irreconcilable differences.
Yeah, but the thing about it is that let's dissect that. Mm-hmm. It was because it was done. What was done behind my back, mm-hmm. and there was nothing that happened.
Right.
And then I found out long after the situation that I don't know that they weren't talking to me. I don't know how to describe what took place.
So it was falling away by one party, and the other party was unaware of it.
Right,
and nothing. There was no disagreement or no situation that happened. It was
so it's just like if we fall out because we have a spat is one thing, but if we fall out, you fall out, and I don't know that you fell out and nothing happened,
right?
And then just some things that were done just to be hurtful, it caught me off guard. And it wasn't until I was talking to somebody today, they were dealing with a breakup the other day. And they were dealing with a breakup. And in the breakup, they told me that what they were dealing with actually was shame. And they were saying shame can hold you hostage in bondage for a long time. Now, I didn't have anything to be shamed for because I gave my all. I didn't have anything that I should have been embarrassed about because I gave my all. And even in relationships, whether it's marriage or friendships, if there is an issue, what the Bible tell you to do? You have a problem with somebody, you go to them. If there was an issue. So that to me now shows their
Lack of maturity.
their framework, their framework. You know what I'm talking about? Like, how do you I don't Tia, if you did me dirty, I would not purposely go and try to sabotage you or do anything to harm you. I would be hurt, but I cannot. I know too many people that if somebody hurt them, they're going to find a way to try to hurt the person on another level. I've never been that person. Even people that have hurt me call me back and ask me for help. And do I not get up? Because he was like, I wouldn't be doing nothing. But that's just who I am.
Nathaniel.
That's who I am. So that's when that stuff hurts me, when I love hard. I love genuine. And I realized that because for a long time, I didn't even want to talk. First of all, I didn't even know what to say. People asked me questions. I was like, I don't know. You probably know more than I know.
You should ask them. I don't know.
And so then the other day, okay, let me read what T. Grant says. We also have to view someone hurting us can at the same time can be helping us. Okay, so now T. Grant, that's another thing. I do know that part of the reason why that went the way it did is because when God gave me instruction to back up, I did not back up when I was supposed to. So
well, I told you about that situation too, though.
He did. My husband did warn me. He did not see the same level of friendship and that person was who I needed. I don't know what word he used, but he always let me make my own decision. But he was like, I don't think that's the best for you in friendship. He liked the person, but he just didn't think that was best for me.
Right.
But I was all in, which I regularly am. Tia says, you may hold more value on things and people than they do for you. I think they did for a season. I don't think, know how to be consistent with love. When you have not properly been loved,
right.
when every area of your life has been hurt and rejection, you don't even know how to properly love. And if every time you get so close to your husband or your mama or your daddy or your cousin or whoever, and then you get hurt, the preacher, whoever it is, that when you get to a certain level when you feel like you got a strong base and then they drop you. Some people may have held you longer, but shame plays a big part in this whole. I was trying to figure out, why does this thing still bug me? I'm okay. So first of all, I'm a person that always want to figure out the why. My husband tells me I can't figure out why people do what they do. Like Tia, as much as I talk to you on here, Mike, talk to you, Lena, talk to you guys. I still, if you did something right now, I can't tell you why you would say or do something hurtful, because I don't know why you do what you do. I don't know because the conceptual framework. I don't understand why people do what they do, but it drives me nuts that I don't, because I'm thinking like maybe they don't understand.
But sometimes they don't know why. So how they gonna tell you something they don't know?
Do you believe that it's just a matter of hurting people hurt people? I hear that all the time, but do you think that's really what it is? That because they are hurting, they want to find a way to hurt you, even if
But
they're not.
it's not always an intentional thing. People do what they know. And if your life is confusion and foolishness, that's what you do. That's not may not even be intentional. It's just the way you're wired.
Mike, where you at? I ain't seen you comment. You, Elena, in a minute.
You know what I mean? So it's not always intentional. Some people are spiteful and vindictive like that, but everybody's not. They don't know any better.
But how do you love people? For a minute, it put me in the shell because I just felt like.
Well, no, but people, that's just like when you meet people and deal with them, they let you know how you're supposed to deal with them by how they treat you and the way they respond to certain things.
So, did you believe that there were signs before then? Because I didn't see it. And you did?
Yeah, but like I said, I from the beginning, I never thought it was a good idea.
But you didn't say that they did anything. You just said
it doesn't matter if a person is not at the same spiritual, emotional level as you. How can you expect them to operate on that plane? So you're just your presence in a relationship is demanding more of them than what they have to give. That don't make sense.
Yeah, and they told me that usually I don't get to go close to females, or when I do get close to females, I end up just pulling away.
But it's the same reason why you always wonder why everybody, when we were doing our thing, had their own little this and that. We were never there, never invited. That's why, because they're not operating the same thing that we are. So, and when we're there, they make them feel away.
And that was another thing too. I used to feel really bad for not being invited to some stuff that we know that couples had. But then I had someone tell me that, because I was like, we don't tell y'all what to do and not to do. But what they said was, we know what you and Cedric stand for. So how do they word it?
They can't do what they normally would do when we were there.
But they can, but they feel bad for it.
Correct.
But then, like, don't you want people in your life that make you better?
Everybody don't want that.
Everybody say that then.
But that don't mean they want that. Exactly.
And then I heard, this is also been hearing later, it was a certain amount of financial status that they wanted people around them to have. And I was like, do I rather want people around me with financial status or people that are genuine and that are praying and that's loyal? I don't understand that part of it.
Be the case because the people that in there wasn't like that. Unless they were lying to them.
Okay, so D says sometimes you have to back away from a friend quietly because the response may be toxic or manipulative. Absolutely right. And the only problem with that, though, Adelia, is when the relationship that I had was very, and I've been dealing with.
See what Tia wrote. Everybody don't want accountability.
Oh yeah, Tia says everybody doesn't want accountability. Absolutely.
Exactly.
And then she also put, but I'm trying to learn how to be a friend. So okay. Sometimes though, okay, so I'm always for the underdog, right? So sometimes people give you a bad rap because they're just not like everybody else. And I've always been that person that didn't fit in with everybody else. You explained it a way that I'm the person that everybody come to tell what their issues are or that they've been wronged in a situation. And Tia, loving me is also that way. We talked about this recently, actually today. We're the people that people come to, and we address stuff. You say that people don't address stuff regularly; they let stuff go.
Right. So that's that's a clear example of them.
Hey Terry,
them using you because when they want to somebody to be confronted or something handled, they come to you. But then when they have little get-togethers, they don't invite you.
Say it again.
So when they need a situation to be handled or someone to be confronted, then they come to you. But when they having their little get-togethers and getaways, you see the pictures on the Facebook. And then you know what I'm saying? Like they're using you.
Right.
Because they don't want to be confronted on issues. They don't want to grow. They don't want to be better.
That's true. That's true.
Like people don't
So
like confrontation. I want to do what I want to do, and I want a friend that's gonna be like, "Yeah, go on, girl, do that." Like, no, you know that ain't right. You know
Tia
you're wrong.
says trauma dumpster. T Grant says loyalty would produce accountability, reliability, and acceptability. I don't see. I don't know about that because loyalty on whose side? Theirs or mine? Because I know I'm breaking down the situation without going into detail because it's over now. But I often sit back and dissect because first of all, you always want to look and see if there's something you could have done differently.
No, but
Let's
I'm
read
saying
Adelia.
everybody is not worth your loyalty.
Ooh.
That's the problem. That's just like everybody can't have a Mercedes Benz because they're not going to take care of it like they need to or get it serviced like they're supposed to. Everybody can't have nice things.
So Adelia says, I did send a statement to the person privately when they asked me, but did not want to put details of the offense. It would not be been edifying. Well, see now, some offense I think you have to share because you have to share because how do they know? Like if I don't know I'm offending you, then how do I get better at it? You know what I'm saying? Like Adelia, if I did something to offend you, I don't want you to stay away and not even try. Now, if you tell the person, because I've been having issues with boundaries, and you tell the person, and they still don't respect your boundaries, still don't respect your feelings, then that's another issue. Isn't that step 2?
Correct.
But you still step 1. Well, okay, I'm gonna say step 1, you might back away a little bit just to see if you can see the situation a little more clearly. Because sometimes, depending on what's going on in our life, we miss things. All right, so hold on, let me go back. I'm missing some of the stuff. Come on now, brother. That's right. Talking about you. I'm doing great. That's true. From your husband. All right. Hey, son. So your son. Do you see now? Is C double T? That's your son.
I don't see nothing. Where it said?
Oh my gosh, she's so blind. Put your glasses on, baby.
No, I can see it, but I don't see where it says that. Anyway.
Right here. Invite C double T.
Oh, okay.
That's your son. Both sides we gauge based on each other's ability to reciprocate.
Don't forget Adelia's down there.
Okay, Adelia. Some people are not mentally ready to hear the truth. I've had conversations with friends. I felt safe to share the offense. Some folks are not mentally healthy, and to confront them is not safe. You're right. You're right. You're right. You're right. But I do at least I at least say back up a little bit and see what the situation is if it's something you can do, and then see what we can do on the other side of that whole thing as well. Now here's the other part of that, right?
What other part of it?
And excuse me, I know that when something happens now in the world of social media, it takes a life of its own.
Yeah.
Like that situation took a life of its own. I didn't even know it. You remember that time at that time when all that stuff happened, I had been sick with asthma. Remember in at the hospital with us? I had been really sick. That we went to that wedding. That was the first time I saw on the way to the wedding because I hadn't been on the phone, nothing. And that's when I had been back and forth. Remember when we had that mold situation?
I remember the mold situation.
That's when I was sick back and forth with all that.
Stuff.
So anyway, social media can make a situation take a life of its own. And I've seen that more so on TikTok than I see anywhere else. People have an issue or discussion here, and then they go to level 5,000 somewhere else with the discussion. And you're like, how do you get to be that? How did this one little disagreement get to be in 20 rooms? And now and I've been in one room where I wasn't on the panel, but I was in the room. And when I heard the discussion somewhere else, it was totally different what was said originally. And so,
but you already know that people that when they talk to you, they talk about it, then they got to call this person and ask their opinion and call that person. The same thing on social media. So I'm going to go to this room and talk about it and go to this other room and talk about it. And then somebody in that room going to talk about it. Everybody want to give their 2 cents.
I don't know. I just trying to figure out, because you said about seeing yourself through others' eyes. I may be the only one that do that, but I typically will
You're not
see
the only one.
myself. Well, on here, I've been the only one. And everybody else said they got over it. They don't do it. So I know that I've heard other people say that, but
Well, it's something you should be actively working on.
I am. But I don't even know how do you actively work on not seeing yourself in other people's eyes when it's second nature to you, when you wonder what they think or how.
You need to read these scriptures and pray about it. What it said.
He told me to read the scripture ahead in the book and pray about it.
That was in the book.
And so the question in the beginning was, do you see yourself through other people's eyes, or do you see yourself how God sees you? And I know that I have the issue of not necessarily seeing myself the way God sees me, but seeing myself through other people's eyes. And sometimes it can get tiring.
Oh, yeah.
And
all the time, I'm sure. That's a lot of worrying.
And people often want to tell you, I'm here for you. I'm available, whatever the case may be. But
sometimes people say that just so you'll tell them your business.
But I think that they sometimes say that they may mean it in that moment. Christopher, that's so loud, son. That's not gonna make you feel better. Thanks. He's sick, but he up there got a whole somebody concert going. So what was I saying? I forgot. His son, his loud concert. I don't know. I'm just trying.
People say they're there for you at that moment.
Right. People say, "Oh, if you need me, blah blah blah," but people don't really.
But why does that surprise you? They're just like people that see you say, "Hey, how you doing?" They don't really want to know how you doing. Because soon you start telling them how you doing, they look crazy. Like you weren't supposed to say nothing, but I'm good and going about your business.
So why do people ask you how are you doing if they don't want to know how are you doing? They could just say, "Hey,"
because it's a thing to say. They want to seem like they care, but they really don't.
So when you ask people how you doing, do you really want to know, or is it just
it's a mixed bag. Sometimes yes, sometimes I don't really care. I'm just saying it because that's what I've been
trying to say. Why would you ask somebody how they feel, because how they do?
That's what I've been raised to say.
I don't do that. When I ask people how they doing, I really want to know how they're doing.
Yeah, but see, I don't always say it either. But I can't lie and say every time I say it I'm interested, because sometimes I'm not. But people know that, and that's why they just say I'm doing good, and they go head on. Everybody don't start telling you, you know what I'm saying, their stuff, because then you be like, "Hey,
Shonda, we're talking about seeing yourself through others' eyes. Do we do that, or do we see ourselves through was it God's eyes?"
Mm-hmm.
And I am obviously the one. I'm the one that I guess that just sees it through others' eyes. Everybody else
say hello. I say what's up.
What's up? What's up? I know I'm not the only one, but I ain't had nobody else in here admit it but me, that I'm the one that think about how other people see me and other people view me. And I actually am a person who wants to understand what you think. Like people say, "Oh, you're such and such and such." What does that mean? Like, remember one time they live and they was describing people and they said flamboyant for me, and I was like, flamboyant? And so when I looked at the definition was different than what I've heard flamboyant to be.
I can see how they can say that about you.
What? Why you can see that?
Because you're outspoken. You're on the louder side. You got long nails. You like loud colors.
And that's what they said.
Yeah. So that I can see that with that. Sometimes people think flamboyant is a negative thing, and it can be, but it's not always.
I've never seen flamboyant be good. I've never heard. Has anybody ever heard flamboyant said in a positive way?
It is positive, because if you're flamboyant, that means you're memorable.
I do that way too often. Oh well, I was wondering because nobody else. Nobody else. She think about what people think, because everybody in here done said it. It's just me, child. I'm around here. I'm the only one around here thinking about what.
Look, who is that? They said, if I think you should be prepared to hear how someone is doing if you ask. You definitely should be, but that don't mean you want to hear it. You know what I'm saying?
All right. So then we said, I think you should be prepared to
I just
hear.
read it, read it.
I didn't hear it, honey.
I think you because you weren't paying attention.
Because your daughter texted me, so I was replying to my child. I didn't hear it, sweetie.
I think you should be prepared to hear how someone is doing if you ask.
Well, baby, you know what I normally do is say such and such said, so I'll know you're not just using your statement.
Well,
You
I
tell
can't. I
me.
don't know what that name say. It say Melanie. It's not.
Actually, it's Paul, child. It's Paul.
Oh, him.
Him.
Him downstairs.
Him downstairs. I wear pink every day in the month of October. Every day. Listen, if you was on my Facebook, you know that every day I post.
Put that one down there. Adelia.
Okay, Adelia. All right, Adelia says, I think the culture in the United States and the world has changed. You think deeply, and most people are just good at putting up a fake wall and are just hollow. Shallow. I said, gosh, I can't read. Shallow.
That is correct.
What? Why?
Why not? Because that's what everybody is being taught and told. It's all about you.
You don't want to have meaningful relationships, though?
I don't know. I think as you get older and mature, you do, but I don't know if you necessarily want that when you're young. You just want to have fun. You want to get lit. Turn up. What?
I don't know. I'm trying to understand. I'm trying to understand the ways to see what it is that we got going on now. That we, I don't know. I just don't think the same as everybody else when it comes to stuff like that.
Like what?
Hey, T Grant.
What's going on?
All right, did you say I was watching Living 200 on Netflix, and they said the biggest enemy and most people live isolated due to technology. We are literally dying young due to not having healthy relationships. And I was going to say that because realize that you know how they do that experiment where they had two babies that were born. One got hugs and stuff, and both of them were fed, but one got hugs and affection, the other did not. The other passed away from lack. We need relationships. Who God created us was with relationships. We need each other. So how do we not want meaningful relationships now?
You got a meaningful relationship.
You know what? I think we want them, right? But we gauge them based on our experiences with them, right? If it didn't work before, prime example, if I have one of my boys, right, which I thought he was one of my boys, but I got disappointed, right? So anything going forward, I'm kind of gauging, and I'm kind of looking at the next person with the side eye, right? As if they're going to do the same thing. But I agree with you. I mean, we're here to form relationships, but I think our experiences causes us to shy away from them.
Now, is it fair to the next person?
Huh? No, it's not. It's not. It's really not. But that is going to require self healing, right? So you can move forward and not view the next person based on what somebody else did. But I'm just saying that's sometimes our reality. We don't do it intentionally, but we put up fences. We guard ourselves based on past experiences. Unfortunately.
I agree. I just, I'm always asking the question that, people are thinking a lot. I wonder if I can, I don't know. I don't know how to, like Cedric was like, well, I do have a healthy relationship. I have a healthy marriage, and I do. But I do want to have something outside of my husband healthy, that he could just be my husband and not, you know what I'm saying? Like, he is there for me. But I don't think that it's fair to him to have to be my girlfriend, you know what I'm saying? Like my homegirl, to be all those different things as well.
And you know what? Can I interject this?
Mm-hmm.
I want to thank the both of you because you rarely see husband and wife coming on alive, being able to, y'all may differ in y'all's viewpoints, right?
Mm-hmm.
But being able to show us that it's possible to have dialogue with the masses, right?
Mm-hmm.
Regarding any particular subject. So my hat's off to y'all for even creating this space and showing us that, you know what? A husband and wife can have good conversation, and because this is evident of what y'all do in private.
It sure, listen, it sure is.
Well, we
You know
be talking
saying?
more.
So my hat's off to both of y'all. My hat's off to both of y'all.
Appreciate you.
Well, I appreciate that. And I know that's one of the even times when I wanted to stop, I didn't realize that this wasn't a normal occurrence because this is what we've done for 20 some years. Like, even if I see something on TV, I ask him about it. And y'all have seen us disagree on here, but it also shows that because we used to fight like everybody's fault in the wrong way, you know what I'm saying? But now we've learned, okay, this is how you have a conversation. This is how you disagree and talk it out. And we don't always end up still agreeing, but we here.
Hello, everybody.
Hey, Sean, I gotta find a charger.
I ain't gonna be with y'all tonight.
Yes, you is. Lying, you lying. Baby, can we move up here? Because I need.
You just put that preacher voice on.
The charger
I ain't gonna
over
be before
Yeah.
you long.
Yeah.
Right. I ain't gonna be before. We gotta move y'all closer to the charger.
Because I said this to you before. When I first saw you and your husband going live, that was one of the positive things that I have seen on TikTok. Positive. Because it, just like you said, it's very rare you see a couple on TikTok talking to unmarried people, married people. You live by example. And I wish today that my husband was living and I had the relationship like you guys had, where me and my husband could sit on a platform and talk to people and they can learn. I have learned a lot from watching YouTube. You are a powerful couple. Don't let the devil or nobody tell you need to stop, because you don't realize how many people are looking and learning.
Well, I appreciate that.
I really think
that, for sure.
And you won't send me the name of the church so I can drive over there. I'm gonna put that out there on you too. And I only live but 25 minutes from you.
You know how you see how you acting out here in these streets, Shonda? You see how you acting? Ooh, you acting ugly.
No, because I'm really looking for me a church home. I've been watching you for about y'all for a year.
Oh, wow.
Really?
Yes.
Wow.
That's a long time.
It sure lives to be bothered with you, Angie. Yeah.
I know, right?
Whatever. Let me read this one comment. The series emphasized real relationships and being in the physical presence of others. The Bible talks about this concept of gathering together. Tech allows people to hide. True.
That's true.
Well, first of all, I really, 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 really appreciate the love that I get.
Yes.
You know, I know that it's not us, you know, it's God. It's funny because people say stuff about us, but I still times say, I'll look through these. I see some couples together on TikTok, but generally they like preaching or they doing, other stuff. And I'm like, that's not us. Like, we just have conversation.
You all are real. You all are real, and you can relate to any type of platform. You all can relate.
It's funny because people use the word real and authentic with us all the time. And when they use it, I'm always like, well, what do we do differently than everybody else? Like, right. I see people have conversations and we steer people to the Bible and to God. I'm trying to figure out what is
You know what I want to tell you why?
what.
Why is that? It's because you haven't forgotten who you are. And you both of y'all know who Jesus is, and y'all preach Jesus. And when it's time to be whatever y'all want to be, y'all gonna be it. But you always know who Jesus is.
Yeah.
And your live, it shows that. Y'all, I can see that. I haven't seen you in person, but the look on y'all live, I can see the genuine relationship with God. But I can also see two married couples that can keep it real out in the streets. We could talk about everything. You know, we did that last week. Now, some people, some sanctified folks, okay, I think.
Hey, honey.
Not the sanctified.
Hey, son. Whoa. I was in it. Look, I was in there last week.
Okay.
And you're right. You're right.
I grew up to Pentecostal. For us to have a conversation like that, and we still know who Jesus is, and bring it all back around.
What we talking about last week?
What did we talk about? Oh, we talked about how soon do you tell somebody about your issues?
Oh, okay, yeah.
Listen,
I forgot.
he's about what we talking about last week. Listen, it's so funny because we do. Why he put his eye in the camera?
I'm like, what we talking about last week?
Well, you know, listen, it took me a minute. I was over here thinking, what we talking about?
I can remember.
Oh, I forgot I was the leader of it. I'm going on mute.
Yeah, why you going on mute now? So I'm thankful that you guys tune in, even for whatever time frame. I know we have people that flow in and out with our conversations. And tonight we didn't have anything in particular, but I just read a piece of that devotional, and actually that's one of my issues. It really is. I am working on it, and I don't know how to. My husband is when he done with you, he done. He is done. I am oh Lord, Shonda, come on, you too, Shonda.
Amen. Yeah, because when I'm done with you, I'm done. Ain't no coming back. I have to pray. My cutoff game is strong and it's real quick.
And see, I tell my husband that's not Christ-like.
It's not that. It's not that.
He say I be praying. I done got a little bit better. I'm a little bit better.
Yeah, but see, it's not like that for me. It's not. I don't have to hang out with you or anything like that. I just when I see you, I say hi, but we ain't about to be buddies or nothing like that. If you not acting accordingly, you know what I mean? Like you show me who you are, I believe you.
But now
she said a broom.
That means I can sweep you on the way.
Oh my goodness, Shonda.
No, I just go
Shonda
and delete the contact.
Shonda, do you hear him say he'll go on the phone and delete the contact, and he will. He will delete the contact. Jesus, he will.
Delete. Hello, who is this?
You know what? And I'm not gonna put all my business out there because there are people in the hallway. However, a lot of people know what I do, right?
I don't. Look. I don't. I'm in the room.
Two things. I work at a bank, right? Okay. But true to
you look like a banker.
I'm an elder in the church.
Okay.
And praise and worship leader.
What?
All that good stuff, right? So I hear people say my cutoff game is,
strong.
But mine. Listen, mine isn't. But you will never know it, right? Because once I see you start to move different, I will still engage with you because I have to. Let's look at ministry. No, let's just look at ministry.
Okay.
I have to engage with you because I have to, and because it's the right thing to do. Right? That's the godly thing to do.
Yes.
But how I engage in that more intimate circle that we used to have, I can't do that no more. Right? Because you showed me who you are and what you're about. Right? So I think a lot of people don't know how to do that. So they say my cutoff game, and they really mean that because they never will do it. They'll deal with you no longer.
Yes.
I'm with
And
you.
that's true. That is true. But from a ministry perspective, I had to come to realize I had to kind of gauge that a little bit different.
No, and you're not wrong. That's the proper way
Because
to
I
handle
gotta
it.
be right in the sight of God, right?
Right.
How can I pray for you? You know what I'm saying? And I gotta alt against you, right?
True.
So I gotta keep my heart open, you know.
Yes.
But again, how we used to rock, it won't be the same,
Right.
Right.
So yeah.
I
See,
have
that's
to
the
agree.
thing.
Hold on, Shonda.
Everything you said.
No, I was just
agree.
saying I'm like him, and the fact I know my wife said that I cut off, but it's not like that cut off like she characterized it. I'm just saying that I know how to deal with you from now on. I'm not gonna be mean to you. I'm not gonna mistreat you. I'm not gonna do any of that stuff. But we're not gonna be buddies. We're not gonna hang out. You know what I'm saying? It's not gonna be any of that kind of thing. But I'm not gonna treat you any differently than I would treat anybody else.
But
So I don't have an art against that person. I'm not mad at them. Why would I be mad at them for being who they are? That's who you are.
But what if God tells you to hang out with them? Because God will have you be around somebody that has wronged you.
But I can't be around them. I'm saying I'm not gonna go seek them out, like call them, like, hey, let me come to your house and watch the game. I'm not doing that.
But what if God told you to?
Well, that's different.
But will you be listening or you like, I ain't doing that, man?
I can't tell you because he ain't told me that yet. But I hope I would.
How's the song go? To be like Jesus, to be like him.
Yeah.
Oh, how I long, right?
Mm-hmm.
So I ain't there yet. So I'm trying, but I ain't.
So there's a question in the chat. It says, can you keep your heart open and not be involved with that person?
True, I can.
Yes.
I can love you
so.
from afar.
I think, well, see, I think, Shonda, when you do the from afar, it puts it like, I'm gonna keep you away. Like, you know, it's a long handle spoon, like that type of deal.
Mm-hmm.
The broom.
You saying broom is supposed to be spoon, crazy. But
No.
I think you can keep your heart open, but I do believe you have to actively be trying to seek God, because it is very easy to be like, I knew that person was after me or manipulative or whatever the case may be. You know what I'm saying?
See,
I agree.
I'm thinking about what you said.
A situation similar to where we were best friends, and I couldn't understand what happened, and I didn't try to figure out what happened because my heart had got hardened, and I was sitting in church, and the word came forth, and it said to me, in order to walk upright with God, you have to have forgiveness in your heart. That ate me up the whole time I was in church. So
it's so funny. It'd be little things that hit you in church. Everybody be in church together, and one little line might tear you up, and somebody tells it.
They tore me to pieces.
Yeah.
And I said I was gonna never ever call this individual again. But before I can get home,
you have to call him
up the phone on my cell phone, and I called.
So Chainbreaker say to protect yourself. Denise Carter says sometimes that person may be your assignment by God. Now, Denise, you done said a whole mouthful then. Oh, when they're assigned by God and God didn't release you to release them, if you release them and God didn't tell you, you're gonna have more damage and more hurt than you think you're gonna have when you ain't doing what he told you to do.
I had to.
Forgiveness is the key. Denise, you right now.
Forgiveness is the key. You can't walk around and don't forgive nobody. But I am working on that.
Okay, Chainbreakers. I'm just reading some of the comments. Go ahead. I'm
working on. Once I'm done with you, I'm done with you. I'm working on that. I really am.
Okay, Chainbreaker said, my mama, I love her, but she hurts me every time. Now,
whoa, wow.
Well, so that particular relationship is a lot different. Because just because you are biologically somebody's mother does not mean that you're not toxic. Does not mean that you don't even know how to be a mother. So you have to ask God to lead you, but don't harden your heart, because then that affects you. You get what I'm saying?
That's true.
I'm not going to talk to somebody that's going to cuss me out and tell me something bad about myself every day. I'm not. I don't care who it is. I'm not.
What if God told you to?
If he told me to, but God ain't going to do that.
That's exactly.
Look, I'm thinking the same thing he's thinking.
But
right?
now listen, but I'm not talking about okay, if God tells me to do something, that circumvents anything else that I may be thinking.
Correct.
My emotions, my feelings, my thoughts, my attitude, that circumvent. If God tells me to do it, it circumvents anything else.
And
However,
if God tells you to do it, you're going to do it in love, and that person on the other end is going to be able to receive it without cussing you out or without telling you off.
Now Denise says hurting people hurt people. Did you get the scripture? Because Terry said Matthew 5:5 and 44. Cedric gonna read it.
But I say unto you, love your enemies, bless them that curse you.
Yeah.
Do good to them that hate you, and pray for them which despitefully use you and persecute you, that ye may be the children of your Father which is in heaven. For he maketh his sun to rise on the evil and on the good, and sendeth rain on the just and on the unjust.
Now, y'all know, I know that scripture is there, but baby, let me tell you, that's one you got to
get that deep down in that Noah.
Yeah, that's a help me Jesus one, because we talk about that stuff. But that's watches. Sin, I didn't even know you was on these other ones. Since said, amen. Watch as well as pray. Okay, said, listen, you got to realize that it is not easy. This is how I look at it. We always talk about grace, right? But we talk about it when we need it.
Right. Do
we offer that same grace to others just in case they need it? Because I've had times I wasn't the best friend. I had the best times I wasn't the best sister. I had times I wasn't the best mama. I had times I wasn't the best something, fill in the blank. I had times I missed it. And I needed grace, not just for God to forgive me, but for the people that I may have wronged or hurt. So if we are in the business of saying, God, I need your grace, well, what about, are you issuing out that same grace that you want?
I am, because what I'm talking about is a pattern of behavior, not something that happened every now and again.
Sensei, say that, Angie.
If you're consistently hitting me upside the head, I'm telling you it hurt, and you keep doing it, that's not having one good day here and there. That's a habit.
Right, but here's the thing. Some people don't know what a healthy relationship looks like. So when they see you're healthy, that's not healthy to me, because healthy was what I grew up with. What normally is in my house was somebody hit me across the head.
Yeah, but it may or may not be your job to teach that person what that is. Right. Because they might not be in a place where they're even ready to even work on that. Denise
says, if Jesus can do it, so it is it. Okay. Do it, so can I. It's not easy. Come on. Shauna said, amen. T. Grant says, how to move from revelation to application. Now, you know what? We're not going to, I'm going to be rolling this slow. I work on it daily. Yes. So you got to realize, though, that if you were raised in a household where toxicity was the normal, I know people that even if they have a relationship now, if things are going smooth, they sabotage the smooth relationship because they don't know how to stay in a calm area.
Right. I agree.
I mean, and I know that it don't sound right, and I used to didn't believe it, but it was a situation. Somebody we know, we were like, every time there's something, their relationship going smooth, it's like it got to be some drama
That's
invented that it hasn't happened. Like, I'm thinking, like, why? But because that is what I grew my whole life on, drama.
That's what they feel comfortable.
That's where I feel comfortable at.
Correct.
And it's awful, but it's just true.
What it is.
Now, and even now, like we're talking about relationships and friendships and boundaries, and you know, my sister told me one time ago, people like to be around people that make them feel good about themselves. I did not always understand that. But then now in this day and age, when you talk to people, people generally call you with some mess. Whether it's they mess, somebody else mess, oh this, oh that, oh this, oh that. I feel like I'd be screening my calls now.
You should.
Because it takes so much work for me to stay in the right frame of mind that I don't have the energy to keep.
Everybody call you dumping on you.
But I don't want to be a trash can. You can have a moment with me, but a moment is not a dumpster. And we got to learn how to have bad moments. Like my I always use my sister, like when things get real bad, right? I'm like, I'm on the floor. It don't necessarily mean you're on the floor, but it's like emotionally, physically, you just like on the floor. But she said, okay, you get a minute on the floor. Like I can't call her and just be whoa, 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 whoa. You get a minute on the floor. Now it's like, all right, let's shift this. How we finna move forward? Do you have people in your life that say, okay, T Grant, yeah, the day was bad. It was bad at work, bad on the way home, bad with this, bad at church. All right, how we flip this thing? What we need to do? But if you have people that, and I'm thankful though, because even today, something was going on, and I saw somebody that was in a place, and the person I was on the phone with just started praying for him. Do you have people that would just go into prayer for you in your life, or do you have people in your that add on to the garbage that's happening in your life?
I have praying people in my life. I come from a praying family.
But I ain't just talking about family, because you know, like
I have praying friends.
Okay, good. That's what you need. It will be.
I have praying friends.
And Denise said, "Be fasting much prayer." Terry says, "You all take care and have a blessed day with God." Okay, you too, Terry. Denise says, "When people call with issues, start praying with them once they call." Right. T. Grant said, "It's okay not to be okay, but I'm not your landfill." Right. That is. You know, here's the thing. One of the things that Cedric and I, what I started doing with Cedric when we used to have our heated seasons. I ain't say day, seasons. Stay with me and I'll bless you. Heated seasons. And we would be going back and forth. And I was like, come on, let's pray. You know, it's amazing how you can't be acting real ignorant. Somebody say, let's pray. And you say you're a child of God and you not be like, okay.
That's true. That's true.
And he used to sometimes grab my hand reluctantly. I was like, well, let's pray. Because no matter what you feel and what I feel, we know who is the source to fix it, to fix us, to straighten us. And I'd be grab his hand and he'd be like, I knew he wanted to be like, why does Helper grab my hand in the middle of this argument? I had some more stuff I want to tell her.
Right? I had a lot of stuff lined up.
You had a lot of stuff lined up?
Oh, look here, I won't give it to you.
He's a great arguer. He's a great arguer because he's the person that, like me, you be done went on something else. I forgot the other part and tell you all about, and then I'd be like, oh, and then what? And who did that? You know, I done forgot. He got a bullet point. His mom was a principal child. He was in debate. So, but sometimes when we're going back and forth, and it's not yielding itself any results, we know who the fixer is. We know who the creator is. So let's go to him. And boy, let me tell you something. It's amazing how God can shift any atmosphere.
Amen.
And I know we don't like to talk super saved. You know what I'm saying? But I'm telling you, if you having an alt with somebody that you really care about, let's pray about it. And pray then. And don't pray as well like, Lord, fix them.
Right. Right.
Lord,
Fix me.
these are your children.
Right.
And we need you. We don't know what's wrong. We don't know how to fix it. We've tried our way. Now, Lord, we are coming to you, which we should have came first.
Wow.
Help us right now, Lord. Whatever's happening, because this ain't what you have. And then when we talk about marriage, be like, listen, marriage is your first institution, Lord. So I know that you created this marriage, and I know you know how to get. And it's amazing how all the tension that you know how when you be arguing, all the tension be in the room, can't hardly hold, you're holding your breath. It feel like a release, just kind of like because you taking the devil out of the room. You took his power, his control. You poked a hole in that balloon, so now it's deflated.
That's right. Yeah. That's right.
And we done had some good ones, buddy. Woo woo. I had somebody say, "Y'all argue so cute." I was like,
"No, we thought we were getting it in."
We thought we was getting it in, but we learned for the first 5 years, you don't call names, we don't attack each other, we attack the problem, and realize that yes, things are not the way we want them to be, but this is not how they. You know the song say, "It won't always be like this." Yeah, sooner or later, turn in your favor. What? It's turning around for me.
Sooner or later.
That's right.
I mean, we sing songs, we quote scriptures, but do we really believe that stuff?
It's true.
Denise says, a real woman of God can make or break that home because we are helpmates. We must know our role. Denise, you better say that. You better say that. Listen, I heard somebody say one time, if your spouse, if your husband is not who he's supposed to be, you ain't praying hard enough. I said, ooh, help me. Because you know, we got them prayers that can help birth them into their purpose. They can ride on them prayer. Lord, I know what they're doing right now. But Lord, I know what you have called them to do.
Right. That's for sure.
So I really, really, really appreciate y'all, you know, chiming in. I definitely am working on me with not seeing me through other people's eyes, but who God have called me to be, who I am in God's eyes. It's hard though, because my intentions are always well. I have never maliciously set out to hurt anybody. It doesn't, and the reason I say that, because sometimes we do things that hurt people and we didn't mean it.
Right.
You know, people like, I ain't try to hurt you. Whether somebody tried to hurt you or not, it still hurt.
Still hurt.
So
you can't take words back.
Right. And that's what I'm saying. Like, it's people I've heard people talk on this app that are malicious and are out to hurt people. And I be thinking, like, who does that?
You know what? You just said something. You just opened the door for me, right? When you brought up about these TikTok streets. The thing that grieves me the most is the ones that conduct lives, right? Under the umbrella of being a Christian.
Oh, boy.
But then they're so malicious. They go for people. But if you are those that decide to do that, first of all, what you're speaking about others is just a reflection of yourself, right? But if you could take that, and no, trust me, this is for me, there's people that know me, there's no judgment, right? But I'm just saying, if you take that you're proclaiming to be a Christian, whether you're bashing men, whether it's men bashing women, and you look at what you're claiming, and you go into praying for those that you are putting your mouth on, I think I'm gonna end it right there, because That's the part that really bothers me, because they're quick to confess, I'm a Christian. One moment, and again, I get it. I love the laugh joke. Last week, y'all saw that, right?
And we did. We laughed and joked too.
Y'all saw a glimpse of me. That's me. That's me, right? I love having fun.
But you see, but you can do both. You can be a Christian and have fun.
Absolutely. I'm talking about maliciously trying to harm, attack someone else's character.
Genesis 1.
But then have the audacity to say you're a Christian and you're a believer. Make it make sense.
So
that what you're saying, it actually happened. It actually happened on this live, and it happened to the point that person had to be dropped. He had to be dropped because he came after someone that me and Angie know, and once I heard it, Angie knew when she saw my
that he was in here. That was a girl. He said she be starting confusion everywhere.
That was a girl, or that was a lady.
Mm-hmm.
Yes. And that's a prime example of someone who said they was a Christian, but yet at the end she started cussing.
So okay, so now this is my pet peeve. Now listen. Okay, so cursing does not make you go to hell. I'm gonna say that. No. But here's my thing, right? It bothers me when you quote scriptures, pray, and curse in the same sentence.
And that's what she did.
But I ain't just talking about her. Like he talking about lives. I've been in lives and they talk about God. First of all, they talk about God, but that ain't what y'all talking about. Ain't scripturally sound. Like, what? What Jesus you know? That ain't the one I know. Secondly, when we're talking about the things of God, you're not going to talk about God, curse, prophesy, all in the same breath. That makes no sense to me. Like, I know everybody has an area they need to work on. I get that. But to me, and that could just be how I was brought up. I'm telling you, hey Kente, I'm telling you an Angieism. Okay? How do you represent, I'm a Christian, Christ-like, holy, set apart? How do you represent Christ, prophesy, quote scriptures, and curse in the same sense, and then say, I ain't doing such and such and such. I know it's in the Bible, but I ain't doing it. That drives me nuts. Because for those young people, and I'm not talking about in age, right, it's flesh. I ain't talking about young people as in age, but it's people that's searching. It's people that want real. You can say what you want to say about me, but what you see is what you get. I'm like this at 2 o'clock in the morning. I'm like this at 8 o'clock in the morning. I am the same person. I'm the same. And so it drives me nuts when I see people who are consistently different. If you talk to me on the phone, look at T. Marie talking about facts. If you talk to me on the phone, I'm the same person. If you talk to me at church, I'm the same way I have conversations on here. When we go to churches and speak, or I speak at my church, this is exactly how we talk. It does not shift based upon who I'm around. So I don't understand the conversation, because to me that shows me that I can't trust you if you're a chameleon or you got on camouflage everywhere you go. Because God wants people that's going to be set apart, that stand out, that is not ashamed, that can laugh. He says laughter does a heart good like medicine. He wants all those things, but you can still be yourself and consistent in the same thing. Why we got to pretend? I don't get that. And if you want to be, Denise, I know what James say regarding cursing. It tells you things that you don't do.
But see, it's not just cursing though.
Well,
it says foul communication. That's a variety of things. not just curse.
Yes. That's it. That's it.
Baby, you gotta lean. You be leaning behind me. I'm trying to lean back so you
I'm
can
not
see.
leaning, baby. I'm just
That's
sitting
it.
regular.
So this is the thing, and that's what I love. Cedric ain't gonna preach you no sermon, but if you say something, he gonna bring the other part of it out. And it's more. It's more. You can do more damage with some of the vicious stuff that we say about people than we do with curse words.
Right.
Now I ain't cussing. That ain't my thing. But if I wanted to let this mouth be unleashed, I can make you. My son said, "You the person that can tell somebody off and make them feel like being cursed out and even use curse words." Right, Denise. We're all working on self, and I thank God because I asked God to help me with that because I do need to be. I want to be represented as that person that's going to tell you the truth, but do it in love. People don't come to me for fluff because they know it's not who I am. But they know that I will be in the trenches with you. If you call me at 2:00 in the morning, I answer my phone. I pray with you. I get up out my bed. Him, he ain't gonna hear nothing. Nothing.
I hear you.
You hear me?
You know another thing that I've been talking about a lot here lately, right? And I think this kind of ties in with what the topic is tonight, right? We always look outwardly, right? We're looking for somebody to blame.
Yes.
I responded because you did.
Oh my Lord.
Right?
Oh, that's.
But we never go and take a look in the mirror and look inwardly. Right? What did I contribute? Right? Or even based on what the topic is, yeah, they're talking about me or they're labeling me, but you go stand in that mirror, look inwardly and say, you know what? I know who I am.
You can't fool you. You can't fool you. You were there.
Right. You can't fool you. Right. Right.
I can present something crazy to you, but I can't fool myself. Go ahead. You right now.
No. You're dead on it. So how in the world? Well, I know how in the world because we always look for somebody to blame, right?
Why is that though? Why can't we just assess the situation and say what part that I play?
But you know what? It's so easy to blame. Right. Because you don't have to look inwardly and do an inside job.
Denise, if you want to come up, you can come up, my love. Anybody want to join the conversation, you can.
That's how we've been conditioned. I just like when a baby falls and skin up his knee. What did mama say? Who did it to that baby?
Who did it to that baby?
You did it to yourself because you failed.
Right.
But then, but go ahead.
No, go ahead.
No, I was saying, but like that's the culture that we set up because who did it to that baby? And then it teaches the baby to blame somebody else that I just wasn't strong enough or I lost my balance and I failed.
Set that culture up. That's set up that way through society.
But that's what I'm saying. Like
that's something when you have why don't we do that? But anyway, yes, okay, go ahead.
Oh Lord. What, baby?
Well, you have a lot of guys that are raised without their fathers in the home. They're overly mothered because that's what mothers do.
Ooh.
When the dad see you fall, the dad don't say who did it to that baby. He say, "Get up, stop crying, dust yourself off." That's what the daddy say. And the mama say, "Don't do him like that. He's a boy. You'll be all right."
Look, that's that territory that people don't like to have this conversation because then when you have these conversations, they be like, "Oh, I'm a single mother," and he was raised by a single mother, so no one's saying if you're a single mother that you're a bad person or that bad. But how women are made nurturing. Right. I know it's some outliers. Men are made to be a little more tough. I know it's some outliers. Meaning that
was designed for both people to be there. That's why.
You see,
so you get some of both.
You know what? And we don't like to talk about that. We like to fuss why I'm a single mother, I'm a this, and my child defied the odds. No one says your child is bad or anything else because you have all kinds of stuff that happens in your life. I'm just saying
The one that defied the odds is not the one that's breaking in your house.
But I had somebody say, "Wow!" Somebody said recently they work at a law firm, and that majority they see a lot more families with two parents where they have kids that are in trouble. But just because two people in the house, first of all, that's why you have to have healthy relationships.
Correct.
Because people say I stay in the house because I want to
That don't mean it's a healthy
because I
family.
want to stay together for the kids. T baby, go and talk to me.
Okay, so I was gonna say hello first off.
Hey love, how are
everybody.
you?
Hello.
I'm good. So what I was gonna say is, the reason why I think people don't take responsibility or accountability for their actions is because, again, for one, accountability is a hard pill to swallow. But for two, if I can shift the responsibility to you and make you responsible for why I feel the way that I feel, I don't have to come up off my crutch.
Ooh.
And I can keep that wounded trauma that I'm holding tight to.
Ooh,
that
girl.
gives me sympathy, and I can stay on my own little pity party. If I can shift it to you, then I don't have to heal. And so a lot of people are out here in survival mode because survival mode has proven to produce results for them. So they feed that coddling spirit that they need. Right. They feed that victim spirit that they need.
Why?
So
why do we like why we like
they
this victim
stay
spirit?
in that.
It's easy.
Because it's comfortable for
Right.
them. And because whatever they didn't get, that trauma and that woundedness gives them what they are lacking. So instead of growing, I'll stay in it because I get to feed, that saying of whatever wolf you feed will grow. They're feeding the wolf of victimhood. Ooh. So they're always a victim. I got a story. Somebody say something. You ever been around someone and you say, yeah, today was a rough day. Wasn't feeling too good, but I made it through. Man, yeah, because, let me tell you about me. Today, my eye almost fell out, and I had to sue. They got a
one up you.
One up you, yeah.
It's always a one up.
Oh, that's so
if
aggravating.
A conversation has shifted and they're not that center, you see somebody that will. I know people that'll cry. They fall out. They whine. They're always a victim. And then when you recognize that they're playing or they're a victim again, then they tell you, well, no. I'm fine. Well, why you say so? Why are we talking about it?
I think they I think sometimes too people want attention.
Yeah. And so that's, so people, accountability is a cuss word.
Right.
And it's a cuss word and it's a curse word to some people. Because if you tell somebody to, hey, let's address it, let's process through it, and they start telling you why they can't process through it, let them keep that crutch. They like it there. Yeah. Let them stay there and disconnect yourself because you can't move forward if you're always looking behind you. And some people like what's in their rearview mirror more than they like what's in front of them.
Accountability means you got to do work. You got to work on yourself.
Baby, I don't know if they can hear you.
Because you can't say that.
Say the first part, baby.
So accountability means you got to do work on yourself. You got to face those things that you've been neglecting for a long time. And not only that, if I say to someone that I'm accountable and I keep doing the same thing, that make me look crazy. Like I'm not adulting. You know what I mean? But if I have a story, why? Then oh yeah, well, we would understand you couldn't.
Hey, Christian.
You stubbed your toe 45 years ago, so that's why you can't. Right now.
But it's so weird. Go ahead, T.
No, I was just saying exactly. I was agreeing with him. Go ahead.
Now I was,